was feeling very sad.
Sad? Why?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for beloved TV shows that had some less than savoury behind-the-scenes drama.
Gosh, I gotta get some black friends.
Number 10, Mila Kunis's Real Age, That 70s Show.
So have you talked to Hyde about the whole get off my boyfriend disaster?
No. And why is everyone making such a big deal about it? It's like every time I walk into a room, people look at me funny. Donna, how do you deal with it?
This beloved period sitcom follows 6 high school students who spend their nights indulging in a certain herbal substance. Jackie and Kelso were one of the show's enduring pairings, and the performers behind them, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, ended up becoming a real-life couple.
If you worked here, you couldn't see me whenever I wanted you to. Lover.
As Jackie was the youngest character, Kunis was also the youngest of her co-stars. In fact, she was only 14 when she landed the role. The actress actually lied about her age and didn't tell any of the show's creators until it was time to sign the contracts.
I said I'm gonna be 18. I never said when.
Oh, that's the, I see, yeah. That's right. I'm going to be 18.
Yeah, well, I never said when.
5
so
years
I
later.
never lied.
Right.
Exactly. So now they said I'm the age I said I was gonna be.
That's so yeah. That's
now it works.
Some viewers have since expressed discomfort over this, as it means that Kunis was often kissing much older co-stars.
Please stop touching each other.
Number 9, mistreatment of writers. Roseanne. Roseanne Barr's fictionalized counterpart was known for her irascible personality and withering wit, but writers who worked on the show might be the first to tell you it wasn't all an act.
Boy, I tell you, I wish I had never been...
What? Say it.
Nothing.
Well, that makes 2 of us.
Even when the show was airing, horror stories from the set were rampant. One such story was that instead of learning the writers' names, Barr and her co-star, as well as then husband Tom Arnold, had them all assigned numbered t-shirts to wear.
I thought they were in a marathon.
The least healthy marathon in the history of the world.
Norm gets it.
Norm gets it, yes, but Norm also has a name. It's Norm, it's not 4.
Barr was also heavy-handed when it came to firing people, and the t-shirts made that easier. Some saw working on the show as a great challenge, while others called it a degrading experience.
You were told the rules as you went along, you know? Again, my first script almost got me fired. She hated it. She just hated it.
Number 8, Chevy Chase's behaviour. Community. The former Saturday Night Live star played Pierce Hawthorne, the rich and bigoted member of the core study group at Greendale Community College. The actor fought with series creator Dan Harmon and his fellow actors from early on, including a reported outburst in which he used a racial slur.
Keep me out of your stupid stories.
I didn't say it was you. I said he was a crazy old racist doctor.
Yeah, and I'm your crazy old racist friend. I was anyway. Now I'm not so sure.
Apparently Chase had become aggravated about his character's bigotry and was using the slurs as an example. Star Joel McHale also had his own stories about Chase.
We are step-by-step on how to fight Chevy Chase.
Fist fight or verbal?
Fist.
Did you fight fists?
Multiple times.
You fought him?
I mean, we there was pushing and shoving, yeah.
According to McHale, the two got into physical fights on the set that were halfway between roughhousing and genuine violence. So much for community spirit.
And he just did Mark Maron's podcast, and it made all these headlines because he was like, I didn't find the show funny and didn't want to be there. And then my response was, yeah, well, feelings mutual about your attitude, and you didn't have to be there.
Number 7, gross misconduct. The Ren and Stimpy Show.
His work was so wrapped up in his life, that was his life, so it was my life too. So it was just like you lived in the kingdom of John. And, you know, I still have nightmares about him.
Given that it aired on both Nickelodeon and MTV, it's hard to always place who this trippy and eccentric animated show's audience really was. But the show's weirdness captivated 90s kids everywhere.
Look at you, man. You're a full-grown cat, still watching cartoons. Why, you're 3 years old. Do you know what that is in human years?
John Kricfalusi, also known as John Kay, was not just the show's creator. He wore many hats, fulfilling roles as the show's main voice actor, theme music composer, and showrunner. In 2018, fans of Ren and Stimpy were horrified to learn of multiple allegations against John Kay of inappropriate relationships with young fans, many of which happened around the time that he was making the show.
It hurt. It hurt that he used Ren and Stimpy that way to lure girls into his fold. It was upsetting.
Number 6, harassment allegations ended the show. Martin.
It's just been 3 days and I keep waiting on the phone to ring.
And when it does, it'll just be Martin saying, "Oh, I was just playing." Now you come over here, you give me my sugar girl, and then you go run.
Martin Lawrence's self-titled sitcom followed his fictional alter ego, Martin Payne, a Detroit DJ. His on-screen love interest, Gina, was played by Tisha Campbell. The show was wildly popular in the early to mid-90s, but a sexual harassment lawsuit made it all come crashing down.
Do not talk to me like
Don't
that!
talk to me like
you know
that!
What, you need to check yourself!
Check yourself, Gina! I ain't trying to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Shut up!
Wait 1 minute.
Campbell filed the suit against Lawrence, who vehemently denied the harassment, and the show ended amidst the chaos. Campbell only returned to the show under the condition that she wouldn't share scenes with Lawrence. Fan speculation has surrounded the drama ever since. They've since patched things up, but it's hard to go back and watch, knowing how their off-screen relationship would play out.
It's like you're silk and he's polyester. And when you mix the two, all you get is a bad rash.
Number 5, casual racism on the set. Boy Meets World. In the show's 5th season, Trina McGee joined the cast of ABC's cherished sitcom about a group of adolescents and their teacher, Mr. Feeney. She played Angela Moore, the girlfriend of Sean Hunter.
We still on for tonight?
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to take you to someplace nice, and I'm going to surprise you with candy and flowers.
During her time on Boy Meets World, McGee recalls moments where she was subject to prejudiced comments and microaggressions from her castmates. One instance included co-star Will Friedle comparing her to Aunt Jemima, an American breakfast brand based on the Jim Crow-era mammy stereotype.
He thought it was a real funny joke to say, you know, and it just wasn't funny. And it really is because the more and more that I talk to Will as an adult, because we're actually cool, very cool now, I realize even now the things that come out of his mouth are due to just such a lack of education on Black America.
Even her guest spot years later on the show's revival, Girl Meets World, was an uncomfortable experience. Her tweets on the subject were picked up by the news media, but she has since made amends with many former castmates.
You made me a better person, Trina, all the way through. It's absolutely true.
Trusting you guys. I like trusting you. It feels really good.
Number 4, Stephen Collins' Past, Seventh Heaven. This WB series about a Protestant minister and his wife raising a family and learning moral lessons along the way was sometimes criticized for a heavy-handed and preachy approach.
Just know that there's always going to be somebody around to try to take your dignity, your self-esteem. Don't let them take your voice.
I'll try. For 11 seasons, actor Stephen Collins played Reverend Camden, the moral center of Seventh Heaven. But in 2014, a recording of Collins' marriage counseling session made it to the news media, and in it, he confessed to several instances of sexual abuse.
It was a combination of poor impulse control, arrogance, 25-year-old arrogance.
In an instant, his image was shattered. He hasn't worked since, and even fans who watched Seventh Heaven, ironically, were never really able to view the show the same way.
I should ground you, but you're already grounded. Just don't go to that part of town ever again.
Okay. Number 3, the man behind Elmo, Sesame Street.
Elmo, you didn't laugh when I tickled you.
Oh, Elmo didn't. Elmo, see you later, Kelly. Okay.
The jovial red puppet has been a family favourite for years. Since his introduction in the 1980s, Sesame Street's Elmo has been one of the show's breakout stars. So to think that the man behind Elmo left the role due to a huge scandal is a pretty hard pill to swallow.
Kevin has really dedicated his life to Sesame Street. He's Elmo. He is also puppet captain. He's also producer. He's also director. He's also executive producer at Sesame Street.
We got the time now, rather than do it.
And he's essential to that show.
Voice actor and puppeteer Kevin Clash resigned from the role in 2012 after several men came forward accusing him of an inappropriate relationship with them. Due to the statute of limitations being up on all of these alleged crimes, their cases were dismissed. Clash has since moved on to other puppeteering gigs, while Elmo has been voiced and puppeteered by Ryan Dillon since Clash vacated the role.
I know that I was on a short list of people that Kevin wanted to make sure were seen, but it wasn't necessarily going to be the case that no one was looking at Ryan to do this.
Number 2, something's afoot at Nickelodeon. Various.
I said a lot of things, a lot of uncomfortable truths that are, I think, difficult things to say.
the more uncomfortable something was for me to put on the page, the more important it felt for me to put it on the page.
In 2022, former iCarly star Jeanette McCurdy's explosive memoir detailed much of her traumatic years as a child actor at Nickelodeon. Next came the 2024 docuseries Quiet on Set, which blew the lid off what happened behind the scenes at the kid-friendly network.
The set on all that was dysfunctional. You could just kind of get away with more.
Internet gossip had circulated surrounding Dan Schneider's actions for a while before that. The showrunner and bigwig producer's alleged abuse of power behind the scenes was felt both by the performers and staff on shows like All That and The Amanda Show. But that was just the start of the parade of horrors some of the young actors endured at the network.
It just got worse and worse and worse. And worse. And I was just trapped.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, The Real Bill Cosby, The Cosby Show.
Why are you drinking coffee?
I'm afraid to go back to sleep.
Ah,
Had a bad dream.
Had a bad dream.
He was America's dad. Bill Cosby's character, the lovable Cliff Huxtable, was the patriarch of an affluent African-American family, something that was seldom seen on TV at the time. The wholesome illusion was torn apart when Cosby was accused of sexual assault by multiple women, spanning back decades.
People did not want to believe our story.
And I finally said, I can't live in fear for the rest of my life.
Stand-up comedian Hannibal Buress jump-started renewed interest in old gossip when his jokes about Cosby went viral. It wasn't long after that, multiple victims came forward to share their stories. Cosby was later convicted, but that conviction was overturned in 2021 over questions of due process. However, as former Cosby Show actor Malcolm Jamal Warner says, it forever tarnished the legacy of the show.
Of course it's been tarnished because they've taken it off the show. And whenever we talk about stereotypical black images on television, we've always had the Cosby Show to hold juxtaposed against that. But we no longer have that.
Did these dark truths make you think differently about your favorite show? Let us know in the comments.
Get mad! Come on! If it helps, think of me as somebody who annoys you. Ooh, that's it. That's good.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.